Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Our sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. We lead off tonight with news about Husker volleyball. Outside hitter Whitney Launstein is stepping away from the team to focus on herself and her family. Launstein, in a statement on social media, said that she took time over the holidays and decided to focus on healing from the passing of her dad. She went on to thank Husker fans for their unconditional love and support. Incoming Nebraska volleyball freshman Harper Murray was named the 2022-23 Gatorade National Volleyball Player of the Year. The Ann Arbor, Michigan native is the fifth Nebraska volleyball player to win that award, the last being Allie Batenhorst. The Husker basketball team getting set to host Ohio State tomorrow night at PBA. Earlier today, head coach Fred Hoiberg met with the media and talked about the importance of winning your home games.
Yeah, I mean, we have to, if we want to be in the postseason, we have to defend home court. And listen, we played the best of the best in this league so far and, had a great road win. And I think Minnesota certainly showed what they're capable of going on the road and getting a big one. So, this league, it's crazy when you see every game comes down to one or two possessions. And, home court, we have to come out and take care of business if we want to have a chance and steal a couple on the road. It's just the reality where we are right now. And then with our strength of schedule, with the caliber and the talented teams that we've played, give yourself a chance to be there at the end of the year. But yeah, home court is imperative. You have to protect it in this league.
Tip-off tomorrow night set for 6 o'clock. Pregame coverage, 5 o'clock right here on the Huskers Radio Network. Tonight in Big Ten Hoops, Penn State will visit Wisconsin. Tip-off at 7:30. The scheduled game for tomorrow between Iowa and Northwestern has been postponed because of COVID issues within the Wildcat program. No makeup date has been set. Husker wrestler Liam Cronum was named today as the Big Ten and NCAA Wrestler of the Week. Cronin won both of his matches last week in the 125-pound weight class. The Huskers back on the mat Friday night at Iowa. Do you want to support Husker student-athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Sports Nightly coming up next.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Meyer, another three. This one's not good. The rebound and a great block out by Griesel. Vandermel's got the ball. 4-0 run to start the second half. Wilcher drives the basketball, splits a double. Oh! What a play! Wilcher, what a fantabulous play! There's our play of the game.
Wow, what a finish by C.J. Wilcher. And the first time tonight, the crowd is on their feet. A little 6-0 run to start the second half.
Kaiser, left low block, guarded by Stewart. Knock away and a steal for Kendall Moriarty. Here come the Huskers with 1:06 to go in the second quarter.
There it is.
Trailing by 11. Three ball, Lonnie Stewart all alone. You betcha! Off the steal and assist from Kendall Moriarty. Timeout, Kim Barnes-Zarico.
And here come the Husker crowd.
To Jazz Shelley.
Throw it back.
Jazz has a double team. Throws it deep left side. Callan Hake for three. You betcha!
Griesel bring it across the timeline. How about a couple of quick baskets here? Down 10, deep left corner, Jamarcus Lawrence, three. Got it! Nothing but net. Swishola, a CBA three for Jamarcus Lawrence.
Hot top, Hybe has it. Huskers looking for a road win over a top 5 team. Hybe driving and scoring down the left lane line. That was classic Sam Hybe.
Yeah, good pace by Sammy. Nebraska answers.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for a full show again tonight. It's such a treat to be with you for the full 2 hours, back-to-back nights. Not sure what to do with ourselves having all these shows.
And we have a show at least an hour on Thursday and a full 2 hours on Friday.
Party show Friday night.
This has been the most shows I feel like we've had since October.
Probably right.
Because once November rolls around, we've got volleyball, basketball, and then December's just kind of crazy. And it's been a while.
It's good to be with you here tonight. Let's start with the news that just broke within the last hour, and that is Whitney Launstein from the Husker volleyball team putting out on social media that she's going to step away from the team and spend time with herself. And this is certainly understandable, and it's sad in a way. And we wish the best for Whitney, and I wouldn't close the door that her Husker career is over. She may come back at some point in time, but I applaud her for making this. Had to be a really difficult decision for her to make.
Yeah, when I talked to her early in the season, obviously had a great season and really just burst onto the scene. You saw some flashes as a freshman, but when I sat down to talk to her, she had talked about how she'd gone through some things off the court, during her freshman year, that it was kind of hard to manage everything. And so it's just, again, going back to that conversation we were having, like, you never know what these student athletes are going through when they're off the court or field or whatever it is that it might be. And so I couldn't imagine, going through that and, thinking about her, prayers to her and her family. But yeah, I mean, if I got to imagine that if she wanted to ever come back, the door would probably be open for her.
There were, and she even addressed it in her social media post. I'm trying to pull it up right now. That she said there's been so many rumors and stuff out there. We had a best of show over the holidays, and you included your sit down interview with her. And Sports Information Office was getting a lot of people calling, "Is this a new interview or is this an older?" And we're like, no, this was one we did 2 months ago. So there's been some chatter out there about that, and that makes it even harder on a young person to make a decision when there's a lot of yipping going on behind their backs.
Yeah, and it meant a lot to her, obviously a Nebraska kid, to wear the uniform, to be a Husker. But again, also because of some of the things that she was going through, it meant a lot to her to be able to be close to home. And so while, again, I don't know, and I don't want to speculate, but I got to imagine it had to be really special for her family too, to get to see her play so close to home and wearing that Husker uniform. It always means so much to these Nebraska kids and families. And, she's very well, like, that's a close sophomore class. You think about it, I mean, and which they'll now be juniors, but there's a lot of talent in that class. They all came in together. And so, and it's a close group, and it sounds cliche, but it's hard sometimes with so much talent to keep a team so close. But that really has been one of the closest teams that I've been around, that I've covered the last couple of years. And certainly she was a part of that. So got to imagine that her teammates are surrounding her coaching staff, and she's hopefully got a lot of love and support from Nebraska, her Nebraska family.
What a talented group. I mean, you're talking about Lindsey Krause and Allie Batenhorst and Lexi Rodriguez and her. I mean, it was one of the most decorated classes ever to come into the program, and she'll be missed. She talked about in her social post that she'll certainly miss playing at the Bob. I love how they call it the Bob, but she needs to step away and work on herself, and I totally get that. When you're distracted, it's hard to. And we had a similar conversation, Jessica, last night about Xavier Betts, that if you're just not all in, it's tough to do this sport at these levels in any of the sports that Nebraska puts out there unless you're all in.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I do not want to speculate. I know we're getting some questions on what happened, but I do know in that interview she had talked about battling through some things, and so it meant a lot for her to be close to home. And so she's a tremendous athlete, had kind of came on late, was not recruited. It was recruited late in the game, but I mean, boy, just athleticism off the charts, could jump out of the gym, and so had really honed in on her skills and put in a lot of time and work and effort over the last year, and you saw it all come to fruition. Boy, how many times was she just absolutely jaw-dropping at times out there on the court. So, I wish her the best. And, again, I know that this team will surround her and be there for her, but also, we talked too about there's not enough spots, right, for scholarships. And so had to imagine maybe this was one of those conversations that was being had, that Coach Cook felt like he had to fill that spot. I mean, this is a program every year, and not to, be insensitive, but no matter what, they have to reload, and so he had to know that something was going to come with having a spot open to be able to bring some of the talent in that he's brought in.
Well, the other part of that was the second part of the ticker that I had, that Harper Murray was named today the National Gatorade Player of the Year. What a great name. Is that like a great name? Harper Murray?
Harper Murray,
Love that. And Nebraska got her right out of Michigan's backyard from Ann Arbor. The fifth Nebraska volleyball player ever to be named the Gatorade National Player of the Year. Allie Batenhorst had that honor. Lexi's son, Michaela Fecky, and Gina Mancuso. So she's an outside hitter, so she plays that same spot that Whitney Launstein. So big news there. Our thoughts, prayers go out to Whitney, her family. I know that's a lot to be dealing with as a young person, so we wish nothing but the best for her moving forward. Husker basketball, both the men and women will be playing tomorrow night at this time. The women, big game for them at West Lafayette against a team in Purdue, same league record as Nebraska. So this is one of those matchups that you're kind of fighting for positioning in the league standings. And this team has done a pretty good job of bouncing back. So let's hope they can bounce back tomorrow night on the road.
Yes, women, right? That's who I was actually going to bring up, too. We've had all these accolades come out today and over the last couple of days. And how about a Husker women's basketball commit? Logan Nisley was named a McDonald's All-American. That is a huge deal. And the Gatorade, she was, McDonald's All-American. So that's like a really huge honor.
Huge honor.
So, they've got the talent coming in, too, in this upcoming class, and they're still pretty young. But, yeah, they are. They're a team that bounces back, and I know that they were disappointed with how they came out and played against Ohio State. And we talked about it a little bit last night. They seem a little out of sorts. And Jazz Shelley seems a little out of sorts, and they need her to be going, especially with Sam Hybe is not back to 100%. Boy, she's had some flashes of showing the Sam Hybe of old, but it just takes so much time to get back. And, so she's not still 100%. And without Allison Winder, so they need Jazz Shelley to get going, and hopefully they'll bounce back on the road.
Yeah. Men at home, we're going to hear from Fred Hoiberg in hour number 2. He had a press conference earlier today. We'll give you some clips from that. Not a lot new from when we had him in studio last night, but we'll give you more of a preview of the Buckeyes, who the men play tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Everybody be safe. Make your own decision tomorrow. The weather could get really nasty around here tomorrow. So the Buckeyes will be here. I think they may already be in town already. So the game, and I had somebody texted me earlier going, is the game going to be okay tomorrow night? As far as we know, I don't think they're going to mess with the game. Hopefully the storm isn't too bad tomorrow, but I'm kind of ready for some snow. I got to get that snowblower going, Jessica. I haven't used my snowblower in 2 years.
You can just stop with
It's
all
just
that
cobwebs in the garage.
Andrew and I are out.
Cole's
on the
in.
Snow.
Cole says, bring that snow on. Let's go.
No. I mean, we do not need it. It'll be fine if it stays out of here. I'd be perfectly okay with that.
But as of right now, that game, no problems with that game. It should go on as possible. But if you're driving from Kearney or Grand Island, be careful. Make your wise
I will
judgment.
say this. Again, coming from a place that doesn't know how to handle roads and snow when it comes, Nebraska does a really good job of. I haven't had. And again, I do not know how to drive on this because I have not been around it much. I don't have a car that's good in it. But I have not, for the few times that we've had it, I haven't had any issues because they've done such a good job of clearing out the roads. Shout out to my apartment complex. They shovel my driveway. And so it's, and my sidewalk. So Sammy, my dog, can stay just right there on the sidewalk. So at least it's a place that knows how to handle this type of weather.
Andrews is ready to put the scooter away for a few days because it's just not going to make it through this type of stuff. I wanted to touch on something that you and I talked about last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about it on the air, but it has to deal with the transfer portal transferring and having only a one-time transfer. Last week, the NCAA Division I Council approved legislation to limit second-time transfers. Undergraduates who transfer have to have certain reasoning, like that they've been abused, whether it's sexually abused or verbally abused, and they can prove that, then they can get a waiver for that. So first-time transfers, that's allowable right now. What they're trying to do is tamp down just the deluge of people jumping into the portal. Nearly 2,000 football players alone have been in the portal in this first window that this is closing right now. 120 of those 2,000 are quarterbacks that got into that portal. There's just not enough jobs for everybody to have. I'm okay with this, Jessica. I think one time is great. The second time, and I'm looking at a guy like J.T. Daniels, who began his career at USC, then he went to Georgia, then he went to West Virginia. Now he's gone to Rice. It's just like every year he has gone somewhere else. I'm okay with this. And a lot of people say, no, coaches can jump around. That's true. But I think it's lunacy with some of this stuff that's been happening.
Yeah, and it's not good for college football. And a lot of times, you just mentioned it, there's more people in the portal than there are jobs available right now. And I read this, I was trying to find it, but there is this Twitter thread from this coach. She's a coach in Miami, and she was a pretty highly touted recruit out of high school and went to a school and transferred. And she talked about how now she regrets that decision to transfer because, she learned at an early age to run away from hard times.
Saw that report.
And so, I don't know how much, again, you're making these decisions when you're young, and there's a lot that goes into that decision, and a lot can change. And a lot of times with these kids, they are banking on or signing up to play for a coach, and that coach might change. But I don't know how much you're teaching them to be able to just run away from any challenge that you might have if you don't like a certain situation. I don't think that's doing them any favors for allowing them just a complete free-for-all every time you want to leave or jump in the portal. I don't think that that's good for anybody. It's not good for the sport. And, I'll add to that, too, with the NIL has gotten out of control. And we're seeing, kids that are in the portal that are hopping out for NIL opportunities. And again, I go back to the NCAA that kind of just let this get so out of hand. And it makes me so mad because they drug their feet in the sand for so long, and they didn't put rules into place, and then they just completely opened up the transfer portal. They completely opened up NIL, and there was no regulations to it. So it got completely out of hand, and now here we are trying to fix things, and it's already almost too late. It's putting the genie back in the bottle. At least they're trying to make some adjustments to the transfer portal, but they needed to handle this a lot better in the first place 5, 6, 7 years ago when it started to happen and it started to unfold the way that it was, and we started hearing that these things were coming, and instead of just letting it completely be the wild, wild west, and now we're trying to, get some regulations going on. But I do agree that, there are some things that needed. There absolutely, kids should have the opportunity to transfer if the situation arises. I absolutely believe that. I think they should make money off their name, image, and likeness. But there's got to be some regulations to both.
Speaking of that, the 1890 Initiative, who you may have heard is now sponsoring our ticker, they put out a tweet earlier today. They welcomed on board their team Casey Thompson. Got to be kind of a sign, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean,
kind of a sign.
We've heard some, Casey's dad talking on some radio shows that he's coming back. I know that Casey really liked Coach Roll when he met with them. He was really, really impressed, both when he met with him in the team meeting and then when he met with him on his one-on-one. And so Casey loves it here. He loves it here, and I think Matt Davison and company, and now Kinsey Knuckles, who's signing on, and then we are now allowed to talk about, and the school is allowed to talk about those NIL initiatives that are doing such a great job. Nebraska is ahead of the game. They've been ahead of the game, and there might be some kids that get another big deal elsewhere, but as far as across the board in all sports, how Nebraska is set up in NIL with the initiatives that have been had. Again, they're ahead of the game and doing a fantastic job. And I knew that would be a good fit for Matt Davison. That is up his wheelhouse, right?
It's perfect for him, yeah. In fact, he's got little radio spots he's running to promote that as well. All right, folks, here's what we have on the program tonight. Adam Rittenberg of ESPN.com going to join us here in a little bit. He was in Charlotte a couple of weeks ago for the American Football Coaches Association Conference. I know Matt Rural was there. We'll see if Adam having a bump into Matt in the hallways of that conference. We'll talk to him about a lot of things around the conference and around the college football world here in just a little bit. We'll hear from Fred Hoiberg. And then in hour two, we're going to introduce you to some of the new faces that are running Husker football recruiting. They've kind of changed that office as well with Matt Rural on board, so we'll introduce you to some of those fellas coming up in hour number 2 as well. Folks, check out the Husker Extra mobile app from the team at Lincoln Journal-Star. It's the best place for everything Husker sports. Search the App Store for Husker Extra and download today. Back with Adam coming up next.
Hey, honey.
Hey, Mom. How did Jordan's interview go?
I'm not sure. Your brother isn't home yet. Oh, one sec. Someone's at the door.
Are you Mrs. Lewis?
Yes?
Mrs. Lewis, I'm Officer Taylor. Your son was in a crash and has died.
What?
He wasn't wearing his seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle.
No. No.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
Here's Walker. They clear that left side for him. Backdoor cut, reverse layup, up and good, and one. Oh, what a find by Walker. Oh, what a finish by Vandemel. It was knocked on the floor on his butt. And the Huskers are up by 271-69.
Wednesday, Husker hoops on the men's side take on Ohio State with pre-game coverage beginning at 5 p.m. with Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen. Tune into your local affiliate or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you raise food corn for CVA, you can earn an additional $25,000 per quarter section. That's $100,000 more profit for every 4 quarters you farm. Do the same work, raise more profit. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at CVAcoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Delighted to be joined tonight by ESPN.com's Adam Rittenberg. Let's talk some college football. I want to start, Adam, right there in your hometown of Chicago. I know Kevin Warren, the Big Ten commissioner, at least for a short time, was named today was introduced today as the Bears president. How shocking was this to you? And then to follow up with that, where do you think the league goes from here?
Yeah, not a huge shock as far as the move. I think the timing is always, surprised when he's not on the job for even 4 years because of the, few times in the Big Ten's history that you've had a commissioner change. So that part of it is surprising. But I think Kevin Warren was never long for the job. I think he was a guy that came in, largely because of the upcoming television contract, and he obviously acted on expansion. He went through some tough times, as you guys know, especially in the state of Nebraska. But I think he after the media agreement was finalized last year, and there's no more questions about will UCLA be allowed into the Big Ten in 2024. I think that at that point the clock starts ticking a little bit for a guy like Kevin, who spent most of his career in the NFL. Has aspirations to, work in the pro sports space again. And the Bears make a lot of sense because it's a franchise that needs modernization. It's a franchise that's looking to build a new stadium, and he did a great job of that, leading the project in Minnesota with the Vikings and their downtown stadium. So I think for the Bears, it's an exceptional hire. It'll be interesting to see what the Big Ten does, because you've had a lot of presidents and chancellors who have changed since Kevin Warren was hired back in 2019. So what do they want to do? Who's going to lead that charge? And how much are they going to rely on their athletic directors, who would love to have somebody more connected to college sports than Kevin Warren was? They obviously, with support for Jim Phillips, the Northwestern athletic director, who's now the ACC commissioner. Could he get back in the mix? Potentially. Could other ADs or college administrators be involved? Sure. But you also have to look at the pattern of recent hires for the Power 5 commissioners, and most of them recently have been those outside the college athletic space. Kevin Warren, Brett Yormark of the Big 12, certainly George Kliavkoff of the Pac-12. So something to keep in mind. It adds some interesting wrinkles here to a search that I'm told could be done fairly quickly in terms of months and not dragging on for well into the 2023 year, and certainly not into the athletic year that begins in August.
Well, news out of Michigan this week with Jim Harbaugh informing his president chancellor that he's going to be still at the head coach of the Wolverines. Surprised at all? And where is that program? Obviously, back-to-back Big Ten titles. They've kind of made their way to the top of the heap in the country, haven't they?
They absolutely have, and they have a lot of good players that are returning for the 2023 season. They put forth an NIL collective that raised over $100,000 in short order, and guys like Blake Corum, All-America type running back, are going to be returning. Cornelius Johnson, a couple offensive linemen, defensive linemen. So Jim Harbaugh is returning to a really good situation. I really thought, Greg, that this would be the time he would make a move, because you do it once, okay, you do it twice. At some point, you probably need to make a move. But ultimately, you're not getting the offer from the Broncos and not really wanting to go further with that process. And Santa Ono, who you mentioned, the newish Michigan president, he took over back in October, and he's been very motivated to keep Jim Harbaugh. It's almost a situation where he's the one who's been driving the Keep Harbaugh campaign more so than anyone else at Michigan, including athletic director Ward Manuel. So it's a bit of an odd dynamic when you have a university president who's essentially brokering the return of a coach like Jim Harbaugh. But the bottom line is, Jim's going to be back for a 9th season after 2 consecutive playoff appearances, 2 Big Ten titles, 2 wins over Ohio State. And he might have his best team. If you look at J.J. McCarthy and Blake Corum, there's few offensive backfields in the sport that will be more accomplished than Michigan's in 2023.
Again, visiting with Adam Rittenberg of ESPN.com. Adam and I just missed each other in Charlotte. He was there for the AFCA National Conference. That's always kind of fun, and you probably get a lot of good information, a little good background on people. What have you kind of heard about the changes in the Big Ten West as it relates to Fickell's hiring at Wisconsin and then Matt Rule here at Nebraska? What are some of the early buzzwords you're hearing?
Well, I think there's intrigue and certainly I think there's a sense that both programs are going to improve with their coaching hires. You know, Matt's taking over a situation, as you know, that has been down for some time, but you know, he knows how to turn programs around. You know, he has a core around him, and I saw him walking the halls in Charlotte. I was joking with Evan Cooper. It's like, you know, you're always going. There's always like 10 of you guys. Like they're like the rule crew walking around together, just like they used to with Baylor and Temple when they were before they made the move to the Panthers. So yeah, it's great to see Matt back in the college game. I think he's going to do well. I think coaches think he's going to do well. You know, the Fickell one is the one that's created the most buzz, Greg, because it's going to be so different. It was so kind of un-Wisconsin to make this coaching change to begin with, and then bring in an outsider like Luke Fickell as the new boss there. And now what he's done with hiring Phil Longo as an offensive coordinator who runs a system that's quarterback-centric, that's wide receiver-centric, very different than what Wisconsin has run traditionally. And then they've been extremely active in the transfer portal, and that's what's caught coaches' attention. I mean, they've added 3 quarterbacks, headlined by Tanner Mordecai from SMU, to that Wisconsin program, and a number of receivers. So it's a new day in Wisconsin, and it's a program that obviously has won at a high level, but they believe has another step to take if they want to start contending for the CFP when it expands in 2024. So there's certainly intrigue there. Ryan Walters is seen as a very talented young coach. Obviously could have a bit of a learning curve at Purdue, but taking over a team that obviously won the West Division last year. So I think overall all 3 coaches are being received well, but the one that's getting the most buzz undoubtedly is Fickell at Wisconsin.
Adam, we're getting ready to close down the transfer portal for a few months. How much chatter was about the portal in Charlotte at your meetings there, and where do you think we're headed with this thing? Do you think they're going to keep reducing these things? Coaches, I think, want to maybe move that early signing day out of December. Where do you think things are headed?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hand-wringing. Anytime you're among coaches, there's a lot of complaining. It's just how they are. But I do think they have some good points about the schedule and the the competing areas that they have to deal with in terms of roster management and composition. So you're dealing with high school recruiting, and then you're dealing with the transfer portal, and then you're dealing with your current roster. And there's a lot of things that you have to do in a relatively short period of time. So I think there needs to be further examination to the calendar and what can be separated out. You know, one thing AFCA Executive Director Todd Berry said was maybe the high school signing period needs to be ahead of the portal so that the high school recruits are almost prioritized ahead of the portal players, because right now you have portal movement, portal players that have already landed in new spots before the high school players can even sign in the middle of December. So it's something that they'll continue to look at. But, there's a lot of coaches that, certainly didn't sign up for this when they began their careers. But let's face it, they get paid well. There's high expectations. You have to adjust to this or get out. I mean, this is the way it is in college football right now. But it also just feels like there's not a whole lot of there's not a great cooperation or collaboration between the coaches and some folks that maybe could change policy. So that'll be interesting to see what happens in the future, if there'll be a real movement to change some of these rules around the sport.
One last thing on the Big Ten West, Purdue's also gone through a coaching change. Coach Walters now the head of that program. What early grade card do you give him, and what's going on at West Lafayette? That's obviously he's taken over for a guy who had a lot of success in his time in West Lafayette.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Jeff Brom did really well. I think he was a guy that got a lot of credit for having exciting offense, and he did that earlier in his tenure, and then he supplemented that with actual winning, which he did in his last 2 years, culminating with the West Division championship last year. I think Ryan is a guy, again, first-time head coaches. It's hard at a job like Purdue, but I think he's got a really good mentality. He's been around some good head coaches in his career. I think he took a lot being around Brett Bielema the last couple of years. He told me that before last season, how valuable it was to learn from a guy like Brett who'd been in the Big Ten, who really understands the landscape of how to win in this conference. And I think Ryan will apply a lot of that to his approach at Purdue. Now, the interesting thing there is they haven't hired a coach, Greg, who has a background primarily on defense since the mid-'80s, I believe, was the last time. So Purdue is very much known for offense and for quarterback play. How can Ryan Walters keep that going? That's going to be an interesting subplot of his first season. They brought in Hudson Card, a quarterback transfer from Texas, who I think is a promising player, talented guy who could really help them. Graham Harrell is the offensive coordinator. You're coming in from West Virginia. He'd been at USC with Clay Helton before that. So I think the offense is going to be interesting to watch. Ryan Walters will have good defenses. I'm pretty confident in saying that, and watching him the last couple of years at Illinois. He has a good eye for talent. He's got a good scheme, and I think Purdue is going to be a solid defense under Ryan Walters. But can he meet those expectations offensively, and how long will he be riding that learning curve as a young first-time head coach at a Power 5 school?
Very good. Adam, great to catch up. Thanks for all the insight. Wonderful stuff.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate you having me on.
There he is, Adam Rittenberg, ESPN.com, joining us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Phone lines, text lines back open, 402-413-2400. Jessica will rejoin me next.
Your story. It lives in River City, where you can enjoy a metropolitan vibe and a small town feel, where we set the standard for service and looking out for one another, where there's so much more than steak in our thriving food scene. Your story is the story of Omaha, told by those who live it and love it, whether that's helping you keep up with the Cornhuskers or creating the content you crave. And here in the Omaha World Herald is where it comes to life. Omaha World Herald, where your story lives.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students from Nebraska's Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts helped create visual effects for the Star Wars TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This opportunity came from a 3-month internship with Lola VFX, a visual effects firm in Los Angeles. This internship transitioned to employment, with Huskers also creating effects for the superhero movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes.
Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Tuesday night. Sports Highly here on the HRN, 402-413-2400. Brandon in our chat room says, boys, I'm lurking from the farm shop. You know how you got to prep for the storm, hay the goats, put the blade on the tractor, and then he says, then you got to go to DQ for a banana split. There you
Brandon is always in on those DQs.
He's ice cream guy all the way.
I like Dairy Queen, but I like the Blizzards, and I like the Reese's, Reese's Pieces.
Yeah. Those are good.
That's my jam.
That's good. Carla on our text line said, I agree with what you said, Jessica, concerning the portal and NIL. There will always be exceptions, but there have to be more guidelines for these two entities to continue. The NCAA dodge their responsibilities by not addressing these issues. Bottom line, they can't jump on the portal when things don't go their way. Ain't no portal in life. People learn to work through issues or problems. Guess I'm old school. Carla's right, but I'm a fan of the one-time transfer. But that needs to be it.
Yeah, and gosh, how many years are we now before the COVID years are done?
2 more, I think. I think you still have 2 more years.
So, there's still more players in college sports right now than there should be because of that. And people taking advantage of that extra COVID year. So there's just not as many spots. And then you're still not getting the extra. The first year they didn't punish you for the extra scholarships. Well, now there's just not enough scholarships. And so it just, it just created a free-for-all. And I just don't think they handled it right from the start. At least they're trying to make some things right now. But I'm with you, too. I mean, I especially because with women's sports, too, which they changed that rule recently for the better as well. They were recruiting women's student athletes, female student athletes, when they were like in 6th, 7th grade. and then you make a decision. That's way too early.
That's too young.
My cousin was a catcher at Kansas, and she this was before the rule went into effect, and she was a sophomore in high school, and that was late. And Kansas, most softball teams don't carry multiple catchers. You usually get one full ride catcher, and maybe one that you bring on can get a full ride at some point, or at least partial. And she always tells the story about how, and she loves her time there, but how much pressure she felt because they were, again, she played a position where not everybody carries it, and you have to get it in the right fit at the right time. But hey, they had to make the decision on a catcher too. But hey, they were saying, you got to make a decision here. We got to go offer another catcher because we got to have the future, And so it was a lot of pressure for her. And I don't know. And she talked about how she wasn't ready to make that decision then. And so, I think for some of these young high school kids that maybe make these decisions a little bit too early, and then you go to a place and then you realize it's not a fit. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because you make a decision so young and you're so different from when you're 14, 15, 16-year-old till when you're 20, 19, 20, 21 years old. And so I'm okay with the one-time transfer, but it's when you get in there multiple times, that's when I think that's way too much. And there definitely needs to be some regulations. That's
the JT Daniels example that I gave you, the quarterback that has been at USC, Georgia, West Virginia, now Rice. That's just way too much. And I do think you can't recruit actively junior high anymore, right? I think they backed that up.
Now there are rules that you can't reach out and all of that, but before there wasn't.
You're right.
Like with volleyball and it was women's sports really was what was the problem. And they were recruiting kids when they were like in 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
John Cook did it when it was going,
Yeah, and so they changed it now to where you cannot have contact until it's going into their junior year. So the rule has changed, but yes, and it was for the better. But again, it's still they still commit a lot earlier when they're young because you can still take unofficials and commit earlier than that. But it's still a big decision to make. You're talking about a lifelong decision that a lot of times 15, 16, 17-year-old kids are not ready to make.
Exactly right. The chat room is all over Blizzard flavors. Brandon wants to know mine. Children of the Corn is a Heath fan.
You're probably, oh my gosh, don't tell me.
I like Heath Blizzards.
Okay.
And I'm also kind of an Oreo
guy.
I could do Oreos in my Blizzards.
Probably oatmeal raisin Blizzard.
No, I don't think that's a flavor.
They have different ones that rotate. By the way, you guys got me hooked on the Culvers. They're
solid.
Their
concretes are
concretes,
solid.
Yes, they're really good.
Solid. Andrew, flavor? Cole?
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough, that's solid. Reese? Well, so yeah, all right, yeah, good. All right, so yeah, the chat room's all concerned about that. Crypto's an Oreo. Yeah, Oreo, Heath, I'm kind of one of those two a lot of times. So
I like Snickers.
I haven't done a Snickers in a long, long time.
You are probably like a turtle pecan cluster. That sounds right up your alley.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Hey, folks, buckle up. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 402-413-2400. Back with our last segment of Hour 1 next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The Mazda lineup of SUVs will provide safety, performance, and capability on your journey ahead. From the 3-row Mazda CX-9 to the first-ever Mazda CX-50, our sales team is ready to guide you to the SUV for your lifestyle. Shop the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or Woodhouse Place Mazda. Visit us online for your next Mazda SUV at woodhousemazda.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Nebraska women's basketball offers one of the best values in all of Husker sports with single-game reserve tickets at Pinnacle Bank Arena for just $15. Adult general admission seating is just $10, while youth and senior general admission tickets are $5. Children 6 and under are just $1. Plans now to bring your whole family to Husker women's basketball for Big Ten home games in January and February. Get your tickets and the full schedule at Huskers.com.
Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Anytime, 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Tuesday night here, Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network. Let's go to the phones. Mo in Lincoln joins us next. Good evening, Mo.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I had an idea on that transferring stuff. I'm not real crazy about how it's working now, and you might call me a hardliner, but why not after one free transfer for whatever reason, whatever school you transfer to, your eligibility stays there, period.
Well, that's kind of this new rule that they're putting into place. A second transfer, you would have to definitely sit a full year, and kids don't want to do that. So they're kind of going that direction with it, and I think it's a good move.
Yeah, that sounds good. I hope it goes through.
Yeah, no doubt. Mo, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. Yeah, I think everybody's like, okay, you made a big decision. It didn't work out. Maybe you're not going to play very much. Maybe you don't like the coach like you thought you were going to. Go to a second school. But then I think if you're going to do it, you need to have some kind of recourse of having to sit a full year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they want to do that and they want to, take a red shirt and do that, then yeah, okay. But it definitely, this just open door policy transfer free for all definitely needs to be pulled back on the reins a little bit. I also think it's crazy too with, the transfer portal as well that, kids can sign the scholarship agreement, right? Like, so we have the national letter of intent that kids sign when they're in high school. And once they sign that, it's binding. And we also get these emails coming in that these transfer people have signed their scholarship agreement, but that is not binding. And so that's another thing too. I wish that they would change too, because, kids might stay locked in and then all of a sudden leave. And that might be someone, if you're committed to somebody for 2 months and then you stop going after that position because you filled a void in that, and so you're going elsewhere and you're not continuing to recruit that. I think that too is also probably needs to be addressed in a way where you once you get them locked in, then they stay locked in. I think that's a bad look for kids too.
Agreed.
And they're getting bad advice when they're making these announcements and then changing it in like a couple of days.
Dennis on our text line, Tin Roux ice cream with strawberry syrup. Someone texted in and said, how about the Girl Scout Thin Mint Blizzard? Is that a thing?
I think they have seasonal Blizzard treats. Okay. And so right now I do not see this Girl Scout Thin Mint on the DQ website. It's the Oreo Hot Cocoa Blizzard, the Snickers Brownie Blizzard, and the Very Cherry Chip Blizzard, and Reese's Take 5 Blizzard. So Those are the specialties.
Sam in Omaha says the only Blizzard I'm getting is the one tomorrow with the snow. Stay warm, everybody. And we'll wrap up the hour. Jim in Columbus said, sorry to hear about Whitney Lonstein leaving the volleyball team. She will be greatly missed. Wish you the very best, Whitney. We all do the same. Hey, folks, buckle up. Put that phone down. A reminder for the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We can continue your favorite blizzard topic. French toast blizzard? Come on, now you people are being silly out there. We have an hour or two, another hour. Sports Nightly coming up. Come on back, have some fun with us.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses, all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Good evening. I'm Greg Sharpe. Here's our sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. We lit off with Husker volleyball news. Outside hitter Whitney Lonstein is stepping away from the team to focus on herself and family. Lonstein, in a statement on social media, said that she took time over the holidays and decided to focus on healing from the passing of her dad. She went on to thank Husker fans for their unconditional love and support. Incoming Nebraska volleyball freshman Harper Murray was named the 2022-23 Gatorade National Volleyball Player of the Year. The Ann Arbor, Michigan native is the fifth Husker volleyball player to win that award, the last being Allie Batenhorst. Husker basketball team getting set to host Ohio State tomorrow night at PBA. Earlier today, head coach Fred Hoiberg met with the media and talked about the importance of winning home games.
Yeah, I mean, we have to, if we want to be in the postseason, we have to defend home court. And listen, we've played the best of the best in this league so far and, had a great road win. And I think Minnesota certainly showed what they're capable of going on the road and getting a big one. So, this league, it's crazy when you see every game comes down to one or two possessions. And, home court, we have to come out and take care of business if we want to have a chance and steal a couple on the road. It's just the reality of where we are right now. And then with our strength of schedule, with, the caliber and the talented teams that we played, give yourself a chance to be there at the end of the year. But, yeah, home court is imperative. You have to protect it in this league.
Tip-off tomorrow night set for 6. Our pregame coverage begins at 5 o'clock. Big Ten hoops tonight. Penn State about to play at Wisconsin. Tip-off at the bottom of the hour. The scheduled game for tomorrow between Iowa and Northwestern, it's been postponed because of COVID issues within the Northwestern program. They have not yet set a makeup date. Husker wrestler Liam Cronin named today as the Big Ten and the NCAA Wrestler of the Week. Cronin won both of his matches last week in the 125-pound weight class. Huskers back on the mat Friday night at Iowa. Our sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative, helping Husker student-athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now let's get ready for Hour 2, Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Meyer, another three. This one's not good. The rebound and a great block out by Griesel. Vanderbilt's got the ball. 4-0 run to start the second half. Wilcher drives the basketball, splits a double. Oh! What a play! Wilcher, what a fantabulous play! There's our play of the game.
Wow, what a finish by C.J. Wilcher. And the first time tonight, the crowd is on their feet. A little 6-0 run to start the second half.
Kaiser, left low block, guarded by Stewart. Knock away to steal for Kimball Moriarty. Here come the Huskers with 1:06 to go in the second quarter.
There it is.
Trailing by 11. 3-ball, Lonnie Stewart all alone. You betcha! Off the steal and assist from Kimball Moriarty. Timeout, Kim Barnes-Zerico.
And here come the Husker crowd.
To Jazz Shelley.
Throw it back.
Jazz has a double team. Throws it deep left side. Kellen Hake for 3. You betcha!
Griesel bring it across the timeline. How about a couple of quick baskets here? Down 10, deep left corner, Jamarcus Lawrence 3. Got it! Nothing but net. Swishola, a CBA 3 for Jamarcus Lawrence.
At top, Hybe has it. Huskers looking for a road win over a top 5 team. Hybe driving and scoring down the left lane line. That was classic Sam Hybe.
Yeah, good pace by Sammy. Nebraska answers.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2, Sports Nightly here on a Tuesday night, the night before the snow Armageddon that's about to hit Lincoln and the area.
Boo.
Burying everybody.
Boo.
I want to use my snowblower. Let's go. Get that going. 2 basketball
There are
games.
some tools that are okay if they are not broken out every now and then, if they go a year or two without being used.
I missed a whole year. A lot of school districts are already canceling class for tomorrow around the Lincoln and Omaha and Points West. Points West are going to be worse than this part of the state. But be careful if you're out there tomorrow. Storms should start hitting overnight in the western part of the state. Coming up this hour, we're going to hear from Fred Hoiberg. Met with the media today to preview tomorrow night's matchup with the Ohio State Buckeyes. And then I'm really looking forward. You sat down and chatted with some of the new people, the new faces that are running the recruiting office for Husker football.
Yeah, so some of the guys that were brought in, and Omar Hales is a guy, if you're on Twitter, you've probably seen his tweets because he puts out the fireworks.
He does.
Every time there's a big big commitment. So him and Adam DeMichael, who it spelled like DeMichelle, but it's DeMichael, who's a quarterback at Temple when Coach Rule was there. And then Mike Wallace, who also was big on the recruiting, getting the group put together. So we'll hear from those guys and their perspective on joining the staff here.
They've been busy for the last couple of months and continue to be, as Mike Schaefer was with us last night from Huskers 24/7 saying there's going to be a handful of visitors here this weekend and next weekend because we do have another signing day. It's the first Wednesday in February, which is a couple of weeks away. I don't think Nebraska will be overly active there, but there'll be some things that are happening. The winter conditioning began today for the Huskers. Weight room was up and going. Apparently the weight coach lost his voice.
Yeah,
that might be a good sign.
Corey Campbell, today was the first day, and I'm working on getting him in studio to do an interview with him for a podcast, and we were going to try to get it done this week, but he lost his voice. So, he's going to get that back functioning, and then he'll join us next week.
Very good.
But obviously it was a good day if he lost his voice.
We will look forward to that. Time to tell you real quickly to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
By the way, you wonder on that note, though, too, because they can't get everybody in one group, right? And they have to split it up in multiple groups.
Yeah.
If, that's going to change a little. So he's having to yell and,
and it gets loud in there,
cheerlead,
too.
yes, and communicate multiple times, but you would think that maybe those groups, the groups might be a little bit bigger, and it might not be as many groups because the weight room is just way tremendously bigger than what the current one is. And I actually chatted with him the other day. He said he got his plans in and how he wants it laid out. So we'll hopefully be able to talk to him about that as well.
Very cool. Looking forward to that, Chad, in the future for us. Well, the basketball team will play the Buckeyes tomorrow night at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The last time these two teams played, it was in Columbus late last year. The Huskers won that game. They went on the road and beat Ohio State. We had Coach Hoiberg in last night. Remember, Nebraska in their last game didn't have two starters. Sam Griesel out with a hip injury. Juwan Gary with a shoulder. We'll start off with the coach giving us kind of an injury update on his team.
Yeah, so Sam participated in practice today, and he went about half of yesterday's practice and participated pretty much right up until the end today, and it felt good this morning. That was the best sign, I think, that he had really increased activity and didn't have any setback or any soreness after that. And today it was good to see him back out there. Juwan he's still no update on him as far as a time frame. He's going to be out for a while. He got a scan yesterday, and he's going to go see a shoulder specialist tomorrow, and we'll have an update after that. We're still hopeful that we will get Juwan back at some point, but we'll know a lot more after tomorrow's appointment with the specialist. Blaze participated in about half of the practice today. Then we got him out when we started going up and down full court. Hopefully have him available tomorrow, but not sure what type of action he'll have. He's just having trouble recovering from that high ankle sprain. It's in a little bit different spot in his foot right now. It's the pain is a little bit lower, like a normal, typical ankle sprain, and just got to continue to hopefully get him better and get him timing and reps, and hopefully get him back on the floor soon, back at full strength.
I think there's definitely been some times we've missed Blaze out there just because, again, his size and what he can do on the defensive end. And, boy, those high ankle sprains they just nag and nag and nag.
You think you're over them, and then you go back out and
you could tweak them like that. I mean, we saw it from Travis Vokalek all season long. It's so hard. You think you're back and you want to get back out there, and then, boy, it just is such a setback. Those things nag and nag and nag, and there's no amount of tape either that help on that either. It's just, it's awful. It's brutal.
Ankles and hammies.
Yeah.
You feel like you're over your hamstring, and then you go out and you really push off and exert, and it does it again. So hopefully good news on Sam. Juwan probably going to be a while. That's too bad. So Juwan does a lot of little things. He's maybe my favorite guy on this team to watch because he gets a big rebound or a tip in for a layup. So Huskers are certainly going to miss that element of his game, and they need a guy like Denham Dawson to kind of pick up the slack. Here's the coach.
Yeah, just continue to. He's done a lot of good things for this team this year, and he's a very good offensive rebounder. We need him to go on every possession, and he's a tremendous athlete. and he's a guy that can give us a defensive presence out there, which we need. We felt really good early in the year with putting Emmanuel a lot of times on the point guard, and then Juwan would guard the next best option as far as offensive perimeter weapon. And you saw that with whether it was Murray for Iowa. He just has a way of going out there and slowing down, not that he's going to shut anybody down, but slowing down the other team's best player in the perimeter when Emmanuel's guarding the point guard. Jamarcus can give us some of that. He can guard the ball. He's done a nice job of picking things up in the defensive scheme, which is so much different than what he saw in high school. So just continuing to, see who's going to give us the best chance. But again, the physicality Juwan brings us, it's hard to replicate that. But I think Denham has the best chance of giving us what Juwan gave us in that category.
And I think mentality-wise, Denham is on that wavelength too. He's a guy that doesn't care what kind of stats he gets. He takes pride in the rebounding and the being physical, and doesn't care if he scores. And so, but yeah, Juwan's experience too. I mean, I think that's too, yes, he's physical and he's big and all of that, but you can tell he's played a lot of high-level basketball, mm-hmm. and I think that's what this team really misses is those four guys if you count Derek Walker, but then Sam and Emmanuel and Juwan, you can tell those guys have played a lot of basketball.
Ohio State's got a really good team. They've lost some close games in recent weeks, so their conference record is not very good. Here's the coach talking about what the Huskers are up against tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. Sam can give us some minutes, certainly, whether it's Sewing or whether it's Sensabaugh. But those two guys are really good three-level scorers, as good as any in our league as far as getting to the rim with their strength. And they've both got very good pull-up games. And then, Sensabaugh, what he's doing from the three-point line, 46%, I think he's 48 in the league, is really, really impressive. And the kid steps up and takes big ones at a crucial time of game without any fear. Again, Ohio State is a very talented team. They've had a couple bad breaks in their last couple games, but you go into the rack and you take them to overtime. That shows you certainly the talent and what they're capable of doing. So, again, it's going to be another physical battle for us. We need to respond. We've had two in a row now where we've got it handed to us a little bit, and we've got to show some pride tomorrow, come out and get our fans behind us early.
Should be a heck of a game. 6 o'clock tip, again, 5 o'clock for Kent and Jake. Kent may already be here with the wet pending storm. He might not be maybe camping out over at PBA tonight. Maybe they have a little cot for him in the back of the room.
You never know. I mean, he basically, I think he turns the lights on at PBA.
Yep. I think you're right. This is one of the few times that the men and women are playing at the exact same time. The women also play at 6 tomorrow night at West Lafayette against Purdue. I don't remember. Maybe there was one other time this year where they're playing at the exact same time. It's pretty rare that happens. Thank goodness I get distracted.
Was it during the Thanksgiving weekend where it was like they played, it started at half, like the men or...
Could be.
It wasn't at the exact same time that they tipped off, but it was like they overlapped a little bit, but...
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen very often because I distracted. I want to follow both games. So tomorrow night, both at 6, both here on the Huskers Radio Network. Looking forward to the coverage from Matt Coatney, Jeff Grease with the women, and Kent and Jake with the men's game. First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com, member FDIC. We're back to introduce you to some of the new guys who are running the football recruiting office for Matt Rural and the Husker football program. We'll get into those conversations next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. Husker students on the debate team and Bateman competition public relations team earned national championships this past year, marking a first for each program. The debate team claimed victory with one of the youngest teams in the country, while the Bateman competition public relations team won their championship by building a PR campaign for the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. From the GMC Acadia to the Buick Encore, we're sure to have a vehicle that fits your lifestyle. Our climate-controlled showroom guarantees a comfortable shopping experience every time you visit. Plus, our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Start your car buying journey today, in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Moriarty gets it. 2 seconds. 1 second. Throws a flip up and it goes in. It goes in. You betcha. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's the miracle shot of all time.
Wednesday, Husker Hoops on the women's side takes on Purdue with pregame coverage starting at 5:45 p.m. with Matt Coatney and Jeff Greesh. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
With 7 Nebraska women's basketball Big Ten home games left on the schedule in January and February, Husker fans can still take advantage of the starting 5-pack. Build your own custom-made 5-game women's basketball mini ticket package for just $60. Get your tickets now at Huskers.com/tickets or call the Nebraska Athletic Ticket Office at 1-800-8-BIG-RED. That's 1-800-8-BIG-RED. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Finally, it's time to tailgate, to find your spot in a sea of red, to get together with family and fans, and to share what makes Husker football season the best. This season, share Valentino's Tailgater tradition with our Big Red Double Jumbo deal and get 2 one-topping jumbo pizzas for only $18.79 each. Order yours online at valentinos.com. Some restrictions apply. See store for details. Valentino's, the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Tuesday night, Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. A lot of new faces in Memorial Stadium with the changeover of staff, and that trickles its way down to even the guys who run the recruiting office and all those type of things. And you recently sat down with a number of the guys who certainly know Coach Rural really well.
Yeah, and helped put this class together very quickly. They hit the ground running. Omar Hales, again, if you're on Twitter, he's a guy that you probably know if you follow that, because he puts out the fireworks every time that there's a commitment. And Matt Roll told us on our signing day show, he's just has this personality that fills up the room and it's contagious. And you could see that when he was interacting with the recruits on, when I was down there doing some interviews when they were on campus here. I mean, boy, he has this infectious personality, and so very genuine, and he's a guy that Matt Roll recruited. And then Adam DeMichael, it spelled like DeMichelle, but it's Adam DeMichael, who was a quarterback at Temple. He is now on as the offensive analyst, and by the way, Omar Hales is the director of player personnel of high schools, and then Adam DeMichael is an offensive analyst, and then Mike Wallace is director of scouting. And so these three guys, I got a chance to sit down with the trio of them right before signing day. Let's start with just your guys' backgrounds with Coach Rural and why you wanted to come be a part of his staff here at Nebraska. Mike, we'll start with you.
So for me, it was kind of simple. Like, I trust him. Like, I knew him for a long time. I actually met Coach Rural when I was coaching high school in Philly. He was an offensive coordinator at Temple. He was coaching Adam, a bunch of them guys. And I think at the time, like when I met him, he was so unique as a person. There weren't really too many guys. Like my high school, we had a lot of coaches come through I got to meet, and he was one of the more unique people. I think over time our relationship grew, and I was like, hey, this is somebody that I can like kind of be around. And he hired me once he got to Temple. He actually brought me back to finish my degree and some other things. So he was a big part of my life, like kind of making the transition from my high school coach to the collegiate era. He's the only person I came back to college football for, so here I am.
Adam?
Yeah, like Mike mentioned, as you guys know and I've talked about previously, a lot of guys on staff have obviously played for him. Me and Omar, Coach Coop, T-Night, Coach Pop Roast, however you want to call him, and that was important to me as well. I remember one time we were sitting in the office and we used to bump heads a little bit. I was a quarterback, he was the offensive coordinator, so and I was a little crazy with the ball and stuff like that sometimes. But he told me one day you're going to coach for me, and I sat there and I was like, there's no chance, no shot I'll ever coach for you, no way. And then he ended up getting a job at Temple, brought me and Coach Coop in for as GAs, and since then, we've been at Temple for a long time together, and I got to be on field with him and do some player development stuff and personnel stuff with him, which was pretty cool. Just kind of see his journey and how he got to where he's been. And then he went to Baylor, I stayed at Temple, but we've always kept in touch and always just kept our stories aligned. And then when he got the job here, it was just a no-brainer for me to come to a place like this and work with him and the staff we have here again.
Omar?
Yeah, so Coach Rural recruited me out of junior college. And
were you immediately sold when he recruited you?
Yeah, it was pretty easy. He had a good energy about him. He was a little quirky then. He was cool, but he had a little quirkiness to him. Still the same guy he is today. Good person though, but how did I get here in Nebraska? I got a phone call. Didn't know what my role was gonna be, and kind of just talked to my wife about it and took a leap of faith. And I really didn't know what my title was going to be and what I was going to be doing. I never questioned it because I knew what type of person Coach Rural was. And so it allowed me to just, I just came and just went to work. And I never questioned Coach Rural or what my role was or how much money I was making. I just came.
Why do people buy in to what he preaches, what he sells everywhere he goes at every stop along the way over so many different years?
Yeah, it's about the people. It's about and people win games and people lose games. But I would say that Matt Rural is just a great person. He's a family man. He's helped me develop to be even a better father and a better husband. And so I think Coach Rural is just his personality, who he is, his values, and just the type of person. I think just the type of person he is. It makes it very, very, very easy to believe in him. And that's kind of, if you see what's happening in our recruiting right now, it's kind of going to take off, and I only see it getting better from here on out.
Yeah, Adam, those types of relationships you're talking about that he built with you back when you were a player, how much does that pay into and is that behind the recruiting that you guys do now?
No, I think it's, right at the forefront of everything that we do is, we had obviously 2 weekends of official visits. Trying to build a class in under 3 weeks is pretty hard, you know what I mean? How are kids and their families going to trust us after 3 weeks? And I think it, starts and ends with Coach Rule and his vision for the program. Our first junior day, essentially, we brought all the kids from, nearby Nebraska into this indoor. And when he spoke, you could just tell that kids and their families were listening. They kind of just felt the vibe and the aura, and it just was different. So I think at the end of the day, with us and the staff we have here, it starts and ends with the relationships and how we're gonna, trust one another. And like he mentions all the time, when their kids come, they're gonna leave here a better man than when they started here. And that's kind of a big thing for us.
Mike, what has it been like working with the staff? It seems like it's like a well-oiled machine. A lot of times it'd be probably pretty chaotic, but they seem to just have hit the ground running and recruiting and all of that.
Yeah, so it's really not as chaotic as it seems, I think, because we've all been around each other. Like, there's a comfort level, like, we kind of know the expectations and the standards. So we pretty much get right to it. Like, no exaggeration, I hit a plane, everybody else got on the road, and we were coordinating and just trying to get it all figured out and get this thing on the road. And I think when the recruiting class is, like, finalized and everybody see the final product, they'll see that it wasn't as chaotic. Like, I think for us, we're not really selling anything. I think we are who we are, and it's different than a lot of places. And we're okay with that, and we want people that want to be a part of that. And as long as you want to do that, you're a fit.
Yeah, I was saying it's not chaotic. Other places it could be, but it seemed like this staff, you could tell you guys have worked together before. There's that chemistry that familiarity with working together.
If they were upstairs, you would see exactly what you're talking about. If you spent a little bit of time in our meeting rooms, you would see how it's not like you would think at an institution like this, you know what I mean? Everybody trusts one another, everybody can joke with one another, but when it's time to work and it's time to evaluate and it's time to meet with kids, and that's whenever we kind of lock in and get down to business.
All right, former quarterback, and you look at these wide receivers, speed. And a lot of them coming from the track. Why has that been important?
I mean, I think it's been important ever since we were at Temple. I know we didn't get many track guys out of Temple. We got long, rangy athletes, and also some shorter guys that can just run. I think when you play in a league like we're in right now, you're going to need guys that can run. Whether it's they're going to take the top off the coverage or we get the ball to them, you know what I mean, with some of the quarterbacks that we have, get the ball to them in space and kind of just, let them go ahead and make plays. So the more guys we can get that can run, as you've seen with these guys, they can fly. I mean, there's guys from all over the country, from right here in this area. And to me, every time I watch the tape, it's like, is it on? Is someone speeding it up? Like we had to go back and check to see if someone's speeding the tape up. Is it real or not? It's obviously extremely important. We're going to play against some really good football teams. And, having athletes that can run. And like they said, man, when these guys were at Baylor, that's where they kind of won games with guys that, were track guys. And it's worked, you know what I mean? And that's kind of our blueprint. And we're looking forward to continue to build off of that.
Over a lot of times with a lot of the defensive coaches, they're talking about a mindset, a mentality, and wanting to play hard and be gritty. How do you know that a kid has that when they're in high school?
Yeah, it's all about the tape. You got to turn the tape on, and a lot of people just like to watch highlight tapes. For me, myself, I'm always the type of person that's going to dig in deep. I like to look at games where teams are when that team is losing, and see how that kid responds. See how he's playing when they're down, 28-0, right? Because they said the truest measure of a man is not where he stands during comfort and convenience, but where he stands during challenges and controversy. And so that for me is very important to see where they are when things aren't going well, right? And so when you look at a lot of the guys, you're going to see a lot of fast guys. You're going to see a lot of guys with length. You're going to see a lot of guys that are strikers, and so that's hopefully that's the product that you see in Memorial Stadium this coming fall.
I think it'd be interesting if you guys all talk about this too, because obviously at Temple, a good chunk of the guys from that roster were from that area, right? From New Jersey and Pennsylvania. When we went to Baylor's, over 80% of the roster was from Texas, and then now you're seeing them really hone in on Nebraska, but yet still going to Texas, still going over there to the East Coast. Just that philosophy, and why is that important? And can we expect to see more of that, just kind of reaching out to those areas where there are those relationships already built?
Yeah, I think that's part of our blueprint, right? You want to start within, where we are, and you want to build out. And we've touched almost, I would say, every high school in the state of Nebraska. We want to make this state a priority. This is home for us. This is where we'll be, and we plan on being here for a long time. And so we have to take care of those relationships and make sure that, you know, everyone knows who we are, we know who everyone else is.
And I agree. Like, we want to protect home base. Like, we want to recruit Nebraska. We don't want to let anybody leave the state of Nebraska. If they're a good player that's here, we want them to come here and be a Cornhusker. We want to, like, continue on the legacy that was here, the national championships. Like Coach Rule keeps saying, we're not, like, building a program. We just trying to get them back to where they're supposed to be. Like, they won national championships. Like, the proof is in the pudding. And I think what we can do here is bring local guys in who want to be a part of this. They know the tradition. They know what it takes. Their families, they've seen it their whole lives. We want to bring those guys in, and then we want to go in and touch a little bit of Philly and Florida and across the country and go accent with the best players that Nebraska expects to have. Like, we want to bring in guys who will come in and be great students, great people in the community and at the university, and move on and be great NFL players. Like, take care of their families, and we want to look up and we want to recreate that legacy. Like, everybody who went to the NFL and their kids come here in the future and they want to come here because of their parents, we want to continue that. We want to bring that back.
Adam, how do you convince guys to come here to Nebraska that are not from here, from the Floridas and the Texas and all of that?
Well, I think, again, I'll go back to the same thing we've been talking about. I mean, those relationships and how you start. I know, like, you know, when I've sent a couple of recruits where I was in homes with these recruits and I show them the new facility that's going to be built, you know, which is being built right behind us. I mean, that is unique.
155 million.
165, they told me. But, like, you can just imagine, like, Miami's working on something that's 100 million, you know what I mean? But when you go in there, you know, I mean, you sell that thing, right? And you sell our staff, guys that have played in the NFL, guys that have done things at the highest level, have coached in the NFL. That's what sells. And people will say, you know, Nebraska kind of sells itself with tradition, which I believe it does. You know what I mean? Like, my family's from Pittsburgh, right? And my brother's, one of his favorite teams growing up was Nebraska. And, you know, like when I played college football, the video game, I used to be Nebraska. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those programs. There's not many that are like it. You know what I mean? I guess they're the blue blood programs, and Coach Sat talks about it all the time. This is a unique and special place. And I think once we get them on campus, it's going to be harder for them to leave without saying they want to be, you know, a Nebraska Cornhusker football player and, you know, a man that leaves here with 1 or 2 degrees.
You guys both played for him. When you tell kids, what's it like to play for Coach Rule?
I mean, it's crazy because he coached Terrence at defensive line. You know, he coached me at quarterback and obviously recruited Omar. But to me, he was intense. You know, he was always prepared. I actually have a note that he saved, that he wrote me when I was a senior that I still keep. It's at my wallet at home, but I still keep. So, I mean, there's things that he did that you know what I mean, we butted heads on, like I mentioned earlier, but he's intense. He's so smart. It's just, like, I can't even imagine, I can't even begin to tell you, you know, how much he really knows about the game of football and relationships and every single position on the field he's basically coached before. That doesn't happen all the time, but I'm gonna give you a little bit more, but you know, he tried to keep me calm most of the time playing the position of quarterback.
Yeah, I think Coach Rule, one of the biggest things for me was just, I have kids, right? And he's helped me be a better father, you know, and so like that for me, and changed my life. You know, he's changed my life overall, and so he's had a huge impact on my life and my family's life, and I'm extremely thankful for him and the opportunities that he's provided me. So I can go deep into my stories, but I don't know if we have enough time, so I'll keep it simple.
Just the ongoing theme again, as we hear from coaches that go up to the press conferences or come in here and sit down with and do interviews with you or do the recruiting videos with me, just similar messaging, right? And they're all bought in and they all believe in Coach Rule. And at one time or another, they played for him, coached with him, but they all want to be a part of his staff here and believe in the direction that he's taking it. And that's such a huge part of kind of laying a foundation and getting a program in the right direction, is just having a staff that's all in and all bought in. And boy, they grind. They are grinders.
They're all in sync. They
Yes,
all know
absolutely.
how each one operates. And this goes back to a lot of them worked together at Baylor or Temple, or they were at Temple, maybe they weren't at Baylor, but they all know what Matt expects out of them. That's a good start. You got to be on the same page, and they certainly are.
They are. They absolutely are. They were able to just hit the ground running in a way because they knew, and some of them might have worked together and others might not have, but they might have, other guys had, but yet they all have this connection to Coach Rule, and we're just, just completely on the same page. And I thought what Adam brought up about how, you know, the knowledge of Coach Rule, because I mean, he coached quarterbacks, he coached defensive line, he coached a lot of these players that are coming in that played for him. We're all different positions, and so he's got just such a knowledge of the entire all the whole football team. And so when we heard, Tony the other day talking about how he wants to have his input, that knowledge, you want that in all phases of your football team.
Good stuff. Great to hear from those three gentlemen. Welcome to Lincoln to all three of those gentlemen. Hey, our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you were looking for with Woodhouse. All right, phone lines, text lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. We're back with more of the show next.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Have you come to a decision yet, sir?
Well, I like the sports car.
It is fun.
I also love the truck.
Yes, sir.
And the SUV is beautiful.
Definitely.
If you win Mega Millions from the Nebraska Lottery with a jackpot that starts in the millions in drawings Tuesdays and Fridays, you can afford to go a little mega.
Well, I think we'll take it.
Which one, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the dealership.
Top prize odds 1 in 302 million.
Here's Walker. They clear that left side for him. Backdoor cut, reverse layup, up and good, and one. Oh, what a find by Walker. Oh, what a finish by Vandemel. It was knocked on the floor on his butt. And the Huskers are up by 271-69.
Wednesday, Husker hoops on the men's side take on Ohio State with pre-game coverage beginning at 5 p.m. with Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Your story, it lives in the capital city, where we take Nebraska nice to another level, and we always show up for Go Big Red. In your story, a pioneering spirit has built a community that cares. Your story is the story of Lincoln, told by those who live it and love it. Whether that's breaking news from the Capitol or sending you to the best shows in town. And here in the Lincoln Journal-Star is where it comes to life. Lincoln Journal-Star, where your story lives.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Hi,
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Tuesday night, 402-413-2400. The number to call us up with a comment or question, or if you want to fire off a text, you can certainly do that. This was pretty cool today. Husker Athletics, along with Sam Griesel, are going to host a community blood drive with the American Red Cross Friday, February 17th, so 1 month from today, from noon to 6. It'll be at the football stadium, the West Stadium Club. Taking you back a couple years ago when Sam was at North Dakota State, he suffered a bleeding ulcer that resulted in him needing blood transfusion, so he wants to return the favor and get a blood drive. This is a really cool thing, and why am I not surprised that Sam Griesel's headlining this deal?
I mean, this was his biggest desire when he came back here, is he wanted to make an impact on the community. I mean, he wants to help the program win, but for him, he wants to make an impact and he wants to give back. I mean, he is just, at his very core, that's what he does. And I just put out a feature on him and how he has this special relationship with a pretty sick little boy who he's become pretty good friends with and has done a lot for his family. And he does a lot of that will never get documented, and he visits the hospitals, and he is the first to sign up to, volunteer wherever it might be. And so, he is as good as it gets. And I'm so glad that we got at least 1 year with him. And, he's going to absolutely leave a tremendous impact on this program. And he'll be a guy that, because he's from here too, he'll keep coming back even once he goes on wherever he might end up and play afterwards. He'll keep coming back and giving back to this community.
All blood types are needed, but especially those who have O negative, A negative, or B negative. If you want to make yourself an appointment for the day, you can sign up at redcrossblood.org/give. Well, I don't want to give the whole address. Go to UNLHuskers.com. You can find the link to get yourself your appointment made so that you can come and they can be ready for you on that day. Again, it's February 17th, which is a month from today, and noon to 6. So have that down. Do you know what type you are? I'm O positive.
I actually think I'm O negative.
Okay. I'm the type they need. No, they need O negative. They O positive. They would take my blood, but
because O positive goes for a lot of people.
Yeah,
like it works with a lot of people.
I will not be able to do this because that's day one of Husker baseball, so I'll be out of town. But again, February 17th, noon to 6 at the stadium, the football stadium, not at PBA, but at the football stadium. And go to Huskers.com and get yourself an appointment for that day. Get signed up online. What a cool deal. That is so when that came across, that just kind of warmed my heart when I saw that come across today.
He's such a good human being, and hopefully he also gets to play tomorrow too.
Sounds like he is. He's trending that way, and that's a good sign for that. Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Oh my gosh, Jessica. I felt so bad last night for Brett Maher, the former Husker kicker, who missed not one, not two, not three, but 4 extra points for the Cowboys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then he was like the number one meme on all the social medias and TikTok and all of that. It was, yeah.
Oh, to Jerry Jones' credit, he got asked after the game, you're looking for a kicker this week. He goes, nope, he's had a great season for us. He had a bad night. We're sticking with him.
Just get it out of your system now.
It's kind of like a golfer with the yips. You can't make a short putt, and you're going, I can't make a putt. That hole could be yay big, and I'm going to miss the putt.
Yeah, or free throws like we talked about with Coach Hoiberg the other day, too.
Yep.
I mean, it is, hopefully he got it out of his system, and he'll be ready to go. They had a big enough lead.
Ugh.
It's all right.
Man, it was painful to watch. Peyton Manning's reaction on the Manning cast.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe they kept running him out there. Go for two. Just go for two. Take the pressure off the kid.
I mean, Jeremiah says it all the time because, again, my Ohio State pick was a kicker away from being a really good pick.
You're right.
And we were talking about it on the podcast, and he's like, I hate kickers.
I think it was a bad hold in the Ohio State game. I don't think the holder got the ball quite right because that thing came off really wild.
I thought you meant last night. I'm like, there was four of them.
The Ohio State, the final kick, I think the hold got messed up a little bit, and that's what that caused that. And Jeremiah was a teammate with Brett Maher, so that Jeremiah knows him really well.
Oh, Jeremiah was talking about the Ohio State kicker.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And him ruining my pick.
Yeah. But
or the holder ruining my pick.
The folks in Columbus have to just be going, man, we hold on. They probably win the whole thing. I think they would have beat TCU.
It would have been a shootout, but I think TCU would have scored some points on
probably more than
Ohio
they did against
State.
Georgia, but I think they had a hard time stopping C.J. Stroud. All right, need to step aside, get our final break of the night in, 402-413-2400. Also time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down, a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back to wrap up tonight's show next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you raise food corn for CVA, you can earn an additional $25,000 per quarter section. That's $100,000 more profit for every 4 quarters you farm. Do the same work, raise more profit. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, final couple minutes of the program. You want to be a part of it? Still time, 402-413-2400. Stephen Bellevue on our text line said, bad game for Brett, but the unders came in by half a point. Go Cowboys. So if he made one, he did end up making one. He went 1 for 5. If he made one more, the game would have been over.
Oh.
The over-under.
So if you pick the under, you're
glad he missed.
Thankful for him.
Man, you were showing me during the break. There are some brutal gifts and stuff out there on Brett today.
Yeah, it was all over my TikTok last night.
I feel bad. I feel really bad for him.
Hey, bounce back. All good.
Andrew's happy, though. His Cowboys are still alive.
You know, watch out for the Cowboys.
They go down. They lose to the Niners.
You think?
Yeah. I think the Niners might win the whole thing.
Hey, Tim picked the Niners. I went back. I did say Carolina.
I know you did. You had Carolina and Denver.
I think I was just being stupid.
Tim had the Niners.
He did.
I had the Vikings.
He had the Niners and the Bills.
Cowboys.
He had the Niners.
I think we all had the Bills except you. You just go, I can't. Heck, it's too easy.
You guys were all picking the same team, so I was
true.
like, just okay, give me something stupid.
And that's
here.
fair.
But and also, I've made it clear I'm not a big NFL person. I like to watch guys that I've worked with and covered, but I'm not diehard into the NFL. So I like the playoffs. I'm all in on the playoffs.
Well, I'm surprised Andrew's even watching. I mean, his team didn't make it, so I'm surprised he's even watching some of the games.
I mean, can we get who was the other Steelers fan that the other day?
Tim.
No, and Damon. And Ernie Ziegler the other day.
He's back. He's here next Monday.
Yes.
Too.
I was like, gosh, can
By the
I
way,
get away from Steelers
when
fans?
you have him on next week, Fred said he did a great job, that Ernie got up in front of the team yesterday and talked about Martin Luther King. So ask Ernie about what was his message to the team about Dr. King.
He's fascinating. I love talking to him. I mean, he's just got so much experience and such a great basketball mind. And boy, you talk about somebody that can fit in a lot of different staffs and situations, and not everybody can do that. And he is a asset to wherever he goes.
It's a good staff. Fred has done a nice job kind of massaging that staff. And I think you see the product of that staff on the court, the way they're playing. They're playing smart. They're playing hard. I think that's a credit to Nate Lenzer, to Ernie, Adam Howard. Those three guys, I think, have done a really nice job, along with Coach Hoiberg, obviously, too.
And I think Kurt is strength coach.
Yep.
Coach Kurt is one of the best in the business, too.
I do, too. All right, tomorrow night, no show. Both the men and women play tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Men's pregame at 5, women's pregame at 5:45. Women are at Purdue. The men are home to Ohio State. We are back for a full show on Thursday night. We'll have the Amy Williams radio show for you in hour number 2, and then we'll have a full show for you on Friday. This is a really busy time of the year for the athletic department because you've had a lot of sports that have started up after the holidays. Indoor track has started. Men's and women's gym has started. Men's and women's tennis about to start. So this is becoming a really busy time. We're going to focus in on men's tennis and women's gym later in the week as well. So this is a busy time of year, not just the basketball seasons or the wrestlers going on. You have other things happening.
In softball and baseball, the Diamond Sports are back on. I know softball hit the field for the first time today, I believe. And by the way, I am calling that women's gymnastics meet on Saturday on the Big
Maryland?
10 Plus.
Yeah,
yes.
Good.
With Kinsey Roby. So that'll be fun. They haven't had announcers. It's just been, a lot of times the Nats on the stream. So I'm excited. My first time ever calling gymnastics.
Sweet. Well, you know the sport pretty well.
Yeah,
you do?
I do.
Yeah. Huskers and
I can't tell you what the tricks
I know.
are.
Right.
But I covered obviously Oklahoma had a really good gymnastics program.
It's the most popular television sport in the Olympics.
Yes.
By far.
By
the Summer
far.
Olympic Games.
Yeah.
By far.
Yep. So it should be fun.
Good stuff. So a lot happening on campus. Enjoy the games tomorrow night. Be safe, folks, with Snowmageddon. I'm going to have to go dig Andrew out of his apartment to get him to work tomorrow night.
I think we should make him scoot.
Kent's got the dogs ready to go to bring him down from Omaha tomorrow night. It's all going to be good, right?
It's going to be interesting tomorrow, for sure.
It will be interesting, no doubt. All right, be safe out there, folks. Have a great night. We're back with you on Thursday. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Moriarty gets it. 2 seconds. 1 second. Throws a flip up and it goes in. It goes in. You betcha. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's the miracle shot of all time.
Wednesday, Husker Hoops on the women's side takes on Purdue with pre-game coverage starting at 5:45 p.m. with Matt Coatney and Jeff Greesh. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers athletic